There's been a lot of discussion online recently about Ariana Grande and concerns surrounding her health, particularly her weight. I'm not going to speculate about Ariana herself. She's a human being. She's not a headline. And she has apparently chosen to step back from the public eye after her tour. She deserves the same privacy and compassion that anyone would.
Yeah.
But what I do want to talk about is something much bigger than one celebrity. I am worried about the ultra-thin body slowly becoming fashionable again. Over the past few years, I've loved seeing like the body positivity movement. We celebrated strength. Women lifted weights, embraced muscles. We weren't afraid of thick thighs, stretch marks or curves. We saw it in advertising. It finally felt like we were accepting that healthy bodies come in many different shapes and sizes. Then came Ozempic and other weight loss medications. And whether it's because of these medications or for completely personal reasons, it's kind of impossible to ignore that so many celebrities have become much slimmer. Women who spent years encouraging us to embrace ourselves suddenly look very different. Oprah, Mindy Kaling, Lizzo, Amy Schumer, to name a few. Now, I'm not blaming these women. The scrutiny they live under is relentless. If the entire world constantly analysed your body and there was a way to escape some of that pressure, who knows what any of us would do. But I do wonder what this means for the body positivity movement. What message does it send to people who can't afford these medications? What message does it send to our children who are growing up surrounded by images that once again suggest that thinner is somehow better? It kind of feels like the pendulum is swinging backwards, and that terrifies me because I know what it's like to live with an eating disorder. I consider myself in remission now, but for around 12 years of my adult life, my eating disorder controlled me. I have never spoken publicly about this before, and this will actually be the first time my parents and my best friend have heard of any of this, so I'm sorry, Mum and Dad. But eating disorders are incredibly complicated. They aren't about vanity. They aren't about willpower. They are mental illnesses. And in my experience, if someone told me I looked amazing, it didn't make me healthier. It fueled the illness. Every compliment reinforces the behavior. Even while I was drowning in shame, it became a cycle that felt impossible to escape. I've stayed silent for so long because of that shame and because eating disorders carry a stigma that so many other mental illnesses still do. I know what it feels like to be trapped inside your own mind, and if sharing my story helps even one person feel less alone, then it's totally worth it. Eating disorders don't just affect girls, they affect boys too. They affect people quietly. The self-doubt creeps in and the shame grows louder, and before long it convinces you that you can't tell anyone what's happening. When I finally reached out to a handful of people, I wasn't looking for pity. I was asking for someone to hold my hand. I needed understanding. Instead, I often found confusion and silence. Fast forward, and I find myself extremely concerned about the images young people are again seeing. I don't want them looking at Ariana Grande or any celebrity and believing that thinner is the price of beautiful, successful, or worthy of love. We cannot go back to that heroine chic ideal of the 90s because that culture damaged me and so many as a teenager, and that shame kept me silent for decades after. I don't have the answers, but there are organisations and people that do. The Eating Disorders Association of New Zealand is one, your GP is another, a trusted friend, a parent, a teacher. The bravest and most important step is telling someone that you're struggling. The more we open up about eating disorders, the more people we will help, and ultimately the more lives we can save. So I'm going to start. My name is Megan Pappas, and I have been in recovery from an eating disorder for 5 years. And if I can do it, you can too.